Yo fam, we back with another one. It's your boy, Holy Shabazz, still shirtless because somehow it's still hot in my crib, you feel me? Anybody else have one of them rooms where like it doesn't really get that hot in anywhere else, anybody else's room or any other parts of the crib, but your room it just be like baking. That's my room for sure. But we back, you dig? Another reaction video. This one's a little different. This seems like this is just the day of everybody getting canceled, I guess. So apparently Destiny is getting canceled. He did some shit, and I don't know. We gonna figure it out. This one was sent to me in my DM, so I don't know. They said Destiny did some crazy shit. Destiny's kind of weird to me because he's, he's like, I don't know where bro, I don't know. I didn't even know I thought he liked dudes. I don't know. He does his own thing, I also heard that he slept with Nick Fuentes, the super racist white guy who hates all other races. So I guess he just banged everybody. I guess I don't know. He one of them guys. He's like, forget, fuck them all. Like Pokemon, gotta bang them all. I guess he decides how he feels right now. I guess that's how he lives his life. But just kidding. But apparently he got in trouble for doing some shit, leaking some nudes or something. I don't know. But this is Ab of Ab and Preach breaking it down. I guess because, they close. I've been preaching Destiny. So let's check it out, man. Like, comment, subscribe. HOLYSHABAZZ. Holy Shabazz, you feel me, on everything. Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all that good shit. But let's check this shit out.
You guys can see the title.
This shit, yeah, man. Let's, there we go.
I stand behind it. It's not bait. It's not a joke. You guys can see the title. I stand behind it. It's not bait. It's not a joke. Destiny's getting canceled, all right? And the reason being this time is that he supposedly had an intimate relationship with some women. And what he would do is when he would film intimate moments with these ladies, record them, he would share some of these with other women he was.
My boy is dressed like the ambassador of the United Nations for the United Emirates, like a motherfucker.
Approaching. In one case, he shared it with a 19-year-old e-girl who he had never met in his life, and he was flirting with her and shared videos of himself.
Oh wait, what? My ADHD kicked my what?
He would share some of these with other women he was approaching. In one case, he shared it with a 19-year-old e-girl who he had never met in his life, and he was flirting with her and shared videos of himself sleeping with another person without their consent. Essentially, the 19-year-old gets hacked, and that stuff goes public. The person who was in the videos finds out, loses her mind, files a lawsuit asking Destiny for a huge sum of money. And then, it comes out thereafter that Destiny apparently had also recorded a lot of other women while they were in his apartments without their consent. So this has kind of gotten bigger and bigger since. We're back. Me specifically, where's Preach? Preach busy, you know what I mean? Out there doing gay shit with his wife. Me, I'm here for you guys right now. I was up in Africa. Now, if you think I'm gonna take my time away from my people so I can go spend time on the internet to talk about white-on-white violence, you are bugging. And if you guys are wondering where Preach is, aside from doing gay shit with his wife, we both agreed that there's only one woman that each of us are going to defend in our lives. For him, it's his wife. For me, it's a streamer named Destiny, and we got to do our job. So this is my responsibility. I'm gonna handle her. Now, some of you guys know, Destiny is a friend of mine. Okay, and you might be confused why I decided to come out dripped out from my friend's cancellation. You know what I'm saying? Looking kind of fresh. And again, you fucking idiots! This is a fairly serious matter, and people wanted to hear my opinions. And I'll be honest with you, for all the bad things that are happening to Destiny, I don't feel bad. The reason why I don't feel bad, and this might surprise some of you because some of you don't know this.
I mean, he did leak a bunch of girls' news. I mean, how do you feel bad in this situation?
Me and Destiny have spoken about his dating behavior for a very long time. We've talked about it on stream, off stream, and I've always been very vocal about the fact that I think he's very fucking dysfunctional with how he handles his dating life, with how he prioritizes pleasure over everything else. And
Yeah, that shit's wild as fuck. Speaking of pleasure, I just had some Panda Express, bro. Ooh, fried rice, chicken teriyaki, orange chicken, sitting off screen. So if I pan off and go grab that, son, in the middle of this reaction, just know that's where I'm going. I'm going to grab that Panda Express. All right.
I think
Shout out Panda Express. You feel me?
the root of a lot of these issues in this whole situation is that he prioritizes his own selfish desires over other people's well-being, over what's good for his business and his career. And now it's costing him more. It cost him already some things in the past, and he's always been very much in denial about how it affects him negatively. And now it's costing him even more. And I'm, to this day, not entirely sure if he's ready to really acknowledge the impact it has on him.
Do you think I'm self-destructive?
Yeah. If you engage in hedonism, I would say you're self-destructive. I say the same thing about Destiny. I think he can be self-destructive, and I don't think you would entirely disagree.
So wait,
I completely disagree. I don't think I'm self-destructive at all.
Oh, hold up. I was actually curious. You don't think that to some degree your hedonism doesn't bite you in the ass?
Nope. I think I have a really good engagement with most of my hobbies. I think I.
What's real quick? Hedonism. What the fuck is that again? Hedonism. Philosophical view that prioritizes pleasure and the avoidance of pain comes from the Greek word hedon, which means pleasure. Okay.
Do it pretty well. I think that my mental functioning is very high. I think my career is incredibly successful. There are parts of my life that I can improve, but I think that people look at some of the standard markers for trouble and they, for some reason, project a ton of stuff onto me. But I think I'm living like one of the healthiest, fullest lives that I possibly could be.
Constantly having poor relationships with women over a long period of time, or in other situations, STDs, different things like that. Eventually, that hedonism comes back to bite them in the life, and they also recognize they could have been investing that time a lot better.
Yeah,
so wait, what do you ask us about this? Like, what was your idea of this?
Yeah, it's not like I have like 100 kids and 5 million STDs and like.
No, you just constantly. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Well, you might as well. But no, you drop the accusation. Go for it. You just constantly what? Say it. No, say it.
This, right?
No, shut up, Melina. Shut up.
Nah. I like that. That's me too when I don't want to say some shit. Nah. It's cool.
Let him talk. What do you mean? Constantly what?
Hold.
Anything you do in life that's going to increase like your ability to like have fun or do like crazy stuff or whatever is always going to carry with it like the risk of death, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have no chance of dying by falling out of a plane unless you go skydiving. But that's not an argument because it's never skydiving.
But it is an argument against maybe skydiving 1,000 times if you don't want to die that way.
Well, if you want to skydive 1,000 times, then fucking skydive 1,000 times. Like, what's wrong? Damn, what happened to all the self-empowerment shit that you guys were talking about earlier?
I mean, it just depends on whether or not you want that outcome. If you're saying like, oh, I don't want this kind of destructive thing, or I don't want to end up dying by skydiving, then maybe don't skydive every other day.
Yeah, but I'm not complaining about that. You guys are. If your lifestyle choices are like, damn, I would never want to deal with like a crazy girl or anything like that, that's totally valid. I think that's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people. But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get. I like f***ing a lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like trade-off on that. But I think that's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people. But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get. I like f***ing a lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like.
That's a hell of an admission.
My stream shit. That's like super fun for me to be like, well, doesn't bad stuff happen sometimes, so you shouldn't do it? That doesn't compute to me. Like, I feel like I'm living a super amazing life, and I feel like there's a lot of shit that happens all the time. I understand it might be a lot for some people, but it seems weird to be like, oh, well, I think that you're like secretly like hurting or damaged inside because of some negative outcomes. Like,
or to others, because I think the main thing with this is you have to think about the activity. The activity involves hurting others. Like, even Destiny, as good as he is at what he does, probably could admit he's broken a lot of hearts, he's disappointed a lot of women, he's made a lot of people upset. It's not just how he feels about it. When you involve other people in this kind of pursuit of pleasure, other people get hurt as well. I'll stand by what I said at the beginning. I don't feel bad for Steven whatsoever because
that is true.
He knew what he was getting into. He was brazen about it. When he was warned, when he said, hey, this is a bad idea, this is a bad lifestyle, he said, I don't care, I want to have fun. It's fun for me. That's why I like these mentally ill women. That's why I like doing this stuff. That's why I can't keep my dick in my pants. It's because it's fun. Well, I'm like, all right, then. When it fucking inevitably blows up in your face, I'm not going to have no sympathy for you. You can be my friend, my worst enemy. I don't give a fuck. If you engage in behavior
I don't give a fuck
repeatedly after you're warned, fuck around and find out, and that's what Steven's doing. But I don't want to make it just sound like a happenstance.
Yeah, my boy called him Steven, not Destiny, Steven.
It's a hedonism that, no, some of this stuff is also just morally bad in regards to what he did with recording these women and all this other shit. And if he gets sued for it, he loses money, then it is what it is too. You do the crime, you do the time, right? So no, all these people will be like, oh, Abba, stick by him, he's your friend. I already told y'all. If my friend goes out and murders a bunch of people, I don't give a fuck, send his ass to jail. And if my friend does some fuck shit like what Steven just did and he's going to lose a bunch of money, I'm not going to cry. All right? I would tell my friends and I would warn them beforehand, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. You go and do it. Then, hey, man, that's your problem, bro. You didn't listen to me. you're not gonna get my sympathy at this point. Nope. My sympathy is for when a tragedy happens, not when the inevitable does. Yeah, what you're hearing from me right now is disappointment and a bit of anger, but I'm angry at myself. What let me say? You know, if there's anything that this situation and that most of the people in these online spaces have taught me, is that these are not serious people. Their problems are not serious. The way they engage with relationships is not serious. It's a lot of juvenile bullshit. You know, while I was on vacation, I was just hearing glimmers about this stuff. I was like, yo, turn that shit off. Because I'll be honest with you, if you touch grass and you hear this stuff, you're like, y'all some fucking losers. You realize, like, this is a story about socially retarded people, mentally ill people, all engaging in sexual behaviors and and they're not ready for it. You know, but I also have to have some humility and admit that I've tethered myself to that world. I entertain, I dipped my toes into it, and you know, having spent some time there, was it a bit entertaining? Sure, but it was entertaining like it was when you go to the zoo and you see a bunch of freak animals do a bunch of circus monkey tricks.
Whoa. Okay.
And that's it. And now that it's gotten to the point where it's kind of spilling over into real life and you're realizing that these people behind closed doors are doing weird shit, it's time to take a step back and be like, okay, we've had our fun at the zoo. It's closing up. Time to head home. I'm not interested in being part of the act. I'm not interested in being in the enclosure. I'm not interested in befriending any of the other freak animals that they want to bring in. It's just a weird assortment of people. And it's just it's so different than my real life. Like, why am I wasting time with this? This is not beneficial for my business. This is not beneficial for my personal life. I'm not learning anything about social interaction. So I have nothing to gain by being around this. And despite Destiny being my friend, there's a lot of things that I just don't agree with, that I don't want to be associated with. To keep a long story short, for those of you asking, like, all right, well, Abba, what are you going to do going forward? This is a conversation I had with Steven already. I just told him I wouldn't show up on any of his stuff in the future. And I don't think that's that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, he's going to be doing mostly political stuff from now on. So it's probably for the best. But I just don't want to be associated with it. And there's a few different reasons. So I'm going to try to go with it. And I'll kind of just break down everything. But there's a couple things I got to get out the way. One, listen, I might be the only person in this orbit who hasn't fucked one of these women, including Destiny herself. I'm not friends with any of these people. I don't talk to them really offline. So I kind of just keep my distance. And that's generally true for me and most content creators. So you don't see us doing too many collaborations. I don't hang out with these people. This whole idea that I wouldn't criticize Destiny, I mean, I think that's also nonsense. If you spend any time watching debates between me and him, we argue, we yell, we get very animated, and we disagree strongly. And there's dozens of debates. So this idea that I wouldn't take a stand if I saw something I didn't like, I think people can't understand why I'd be friends with him, or they can't understand why I would agree with anything he says. And so the only thing in their head is like, okay, it must be friendship or whatever. I don't operate that way. If I disagree with you, Preach is my brother, and I disagree with him every day. So if you don't think I'm not going to disagree with Destiny, you bugging, okay? And there's a lot of content creators who, you know, they thought we was cool, and I disagree with something they said, and now they don't want to talk no more. So the idea that I wouldn't, you know, disagree with someone to avoid burning a bridge, no. I'll deal with anybody, because at the end of the day, I think what I actually believe is more important to me than maintaining these kinds of cordial relationships. I don't care about having access to these people. That includes Destiny and anybody else. You know, actually, one of the craziest parts about this whole story is the fact that Destiny trusted a 19-year-old Discord lady, okay, named Rose is Coming, with sex tapes of other people in his life. Nigga. If that's not compromised judgment of other people in his life. Nigga. If that's not compromised judgment, I don't know what the fuck it.
Nigga.
Okay? I wouldn't trust a Discord member with my first name, and that's just public information. He was giving other people sex tape. But if there's one thing that nobody would ever say about Destiny, is that he makes good personal life dating decisions. Okay? There's a couple of things that bother me. That's like, and I've said this to Destiny too, like, this dude really has a penchant for going after mentally ill women, okay? Women with like severe depression, or just like these kind of like dainty, smart ass, fucking feeble looking, small white women. Like, that's his.
I know exactly talking about colored hair, like, has absorbed like every oppressive status of every oppressed group in the world, while still simultaneously being like the least oppressed group version of woman in the white woman, but has taken on the oppression of like the African children and the Indian children, and just the most victimized group, and she just represents them within her being, and we need to treat her how we would treat them, because she has so much empathy that she has taken on their suffering. She is their suffering. Like, bitch, shut up.
Tight. And a lot of them got like self-diagnosed BPD or some bullshit. Like, he just likes that. I don't know. To me, the fact that there's a pattern with a lot.
Yeah, girls used to think like that's that Harley Quinn effect. Women have gotten to the point where that pendulum swing. Then now it used to be like kind of crazy, cute, crazy. You ain't finna leave me crazy, and then it's just like, oh, he should accept me for like just my my overhyped ADHD. Like, girls are just like, oh, I have ADHD. Now I just have to tear things up and be mean to people. It's my ADHD. You have to accept me. You have to accept me this way. Like, why? Why don't you get help?
These girls are a bit weird. And when he's asked why he likes bringing on these self-destructive women in his streams and in his life, he says it's because it's fun. It's fun for him to bring on women who are probably going to, you know, at some point negatively impact his life in a huge way. He knows it's going to be short-lived. He doesn't care because it's fun. That's a moral failing to me, okay? That shows to me that you don't really care about how you affect the other people in your life when these people become atomic bombs who affect everyone in the area. And it tells me that you don't really care that much about your career when you attack, again, who will fuck up things in your area. And this comes down to the thing about like, oh, you know, if everyone consents, it's fine. But it's not. If you know that the people you're going to be involved with are only short-term partners, and you constantly see the after effect of most of your hookups and your interactions leaving a trail of broken hearts and disappointed people, that's a moral failing. Sure, it's not illegal, it's not criminal, but I can still look at that behavior and like, yo, you just spend time dating these women and it's just hurting all of them. You have no intentions of committing to most of them. This is all fun. You know, it's nothing responsible. You're an irresponsible person, and that reflects on your character. You know, with this whole situation, I don't think Steven shared this because he thought it was okay to share. I personally believe, this is my theory, that he shared this because he just didn't care and he didn't think that the other person would ever find out. And that to me is almost worse, because it shows that you don't care about the people you slept with and who shared that intimate moment with you and recorded it. And it shows to me that if you are going to be able to avoid the consequences of it, you'll say and do things behind closed doors that are just unbecoming. And if I'm your friend and I see you do that to your other people that you've slept with and you call friends, then I can only imagine that even for me, I might not be safe and I can't trust you. You know, and it's a shame that this came from a hack, but
it makes sense.
Regardless, what it reveals to me personally is like, I could never afford to trust this person with personal stuff that's really close to me or dear to me, because if they think they can get away with it, no one else is gonna find out. They might just share that shit. And Steven might watch this and disagree strongly, but the evidence is not in your favor. And I can't rely on what you're gonna say. I'm gonna rely on your past and your history. And what I see is another more failing where it's like, when no one's watching, you're not doing the right thing. You can massage it however you want. It's a shitty thing to share a sex tape, but it's not the worst thing. I'm sorry. That's fucking garbage behavior, okay? It just is.
I agree with that for sure.
Call it a spade. It's garbage behavior. Don't mush it over because you like your favorite streamer. Don't mush it over because you think he's important politically. It's garbage behavior. And like the reason why he's doing it too, it's so he can pillow talk a fucking 19-year-old. I was like, it's not that hard to bag a teenager. Pause. That sounds crazy. But
that did sound very crazy. You got to be careful. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. See, next thing you know, somebody gonna pop out the woodwork and they gonna use this exact clip on Abba and say, see, this is, you see what I'm saying? Like, but again, Destiny's still weird. Sharing sex tapes to try to pull wild.
you know what I mean?
Wild behavior.
It's not. And you shared like it is such a weird form of like, I don't know what the fuck that shit is. And one thing he said, I think he said something like, you know, that was me a couple of years back. I'm on Vyvanse now, which Vyvanse I think is like some kind of drug, ADHD.
It's radiation.
I don't know. He's like, I'm on Vyvanse now. I'm really just focused on political stuff. I want to stay away from the drama. It's like, I didn't realize they made a, you know, finding God moment for druggies.
Not really. I think he's saying that like he's on a better drug now, and maybe the drug combination he was on, as somebody that has ADHD, I know what he's saying, might have made him a little bit more try to just focus on fucking bitches and da-da-da, because like your brain chemistry decides everything that you want to do. If your brain chemistry is set up one way, well, your brain is going to be focused on this. If your brain chemistry is set up another way, your brain's going to be more focused on that. So he's probably saying that like whatever medicine he was taking before, or lack thereof, led him to be more focused on doing shit like that. and now he's on quote unquote Vyvanse. I don't know if this is an accurate assumption. Only he knows how this shit is affecting his brain, but it's making him less be about that and more be about politics. I understand, as an ADHD affected individual.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how some people do a bunch of fuck shit for their whole life, and all of a sudden they go to church once and they're like, I found God. Like it absolves all the bullshit that they've just done.
I mean, that is also kind of how church works. They do be saying that's how it works and shit. The Quran be saying that shit. The Bible be saying that shit. But it don't, you feel me? I feel you, though. It don't work like that. It definitely don't work like that, but they do be acting like it works like that. I understand why people walk out of churches feeling like that, because they be acting like it works like that.
I don't know. It was such a weird way, like when you're being said that you're doing a bunch of foul shit and you've hurt a bunch of people, and like mentioning the fact that you're on Vyvanse and you're a changed person. It's just like,
Yeah,
I don't
weird.
know. Something about it just seemed off to me.
It's a weird response for sure.
And it just didn't seem like someone who was really repenting or felt some type of way about what they did. It just felt like, it made me think of Sneeko, you know? Sneeko's doing all this like goofy ass red pill shit, and all of a sudden he finds Allah and everything's just forgiven. All the bad messaging, all the people he insulted, never apologized for none of that. None of that. It's just like, I'm moved on. It was just weird. To move on to the career stuff, like, listen, man. How do we say this? If you have political aspirations, you just can't behave like this. One of the weirdest things that Steven had was an anti-misogyny arc, right? He felt like there was too much misogyny in his audience and whatever. So he's like, he was trying to shape them up, and he was banning people and banning certain kind of messaging. All the while, my guy, you were fucking a bunch of the women that you worked with. You would bring women on stream and then fuck them within a short amount of time. It's like you're reinforcing a lot of the stereotypes that a lot of this misogyny comes from.
Yeah, that's the whole point of DEI being disbanded. Niggas have realized, like, all you're doing is just letting the others do the discriminating now. You might as well just let whoever gets there first discriminate with their biases then. Who cares? Because it's like you try to do the DI or whatever, let the guy with the blue hair control everything. Well, then the guy with the blue hair is just going to hire and put on people that agree with blue hair guy thoughts. That's it. And he's still going to do the same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we might as well not even try to regulate this, because it's like no matter what, it's just going to be discrimination in the other way. You know what I mean?
From. There's a certain level of hypocrisy there that just makes like the whole thing just seems like such a flamboyant joke. And personally, like that's actually one of the big reasons I don't want to be associated with like the platform is I don't like the idea that we're normalizing, you know, someone bringing in a bunch of small content creators that are women, fucking them, right? And then when that fallout inevitably happens, like just cast them away. Like it's a really weird dynamic. And I started.
But I mean, if the women are consenting to be involved, I feel like the whole, you know, leaking of the sex tape shit, that's wrong on every level. But like if they're agreed and they seeing this shit happen, I feel like there's like an underestimation and like we like just infantilize women sometimes. Like we don't like respect their part in like being here. Like, you know, she's choosing to be here. She sees this shit going on. It's like I feel like the FS1 lawsuit kind of, you know, like Robert Joy Taylor, like there's usually the women that are there, they see the fuck shit that's going on. They do be seeing that shit, and they stay there anyway because, you know what I mean, like there's usually some type of gain. Usually it's monetary or like maybe they'll get promoted. Look at Joy Taylor, like she was fucking these dudes not just cause, but because she was trying to use the sex to go up. You know what I'm saying? That is not the first time that was done. You dig? So it's not like they're just like helpless. You know, they sometimes make women seem so helpless. Like he's just going over there, you little content creator, come here. Yeah, look at all my clout, bitch. Get naked. Like I don't think it's going like that.
Getting comments from people like, "Oh, you this girl in your orbit," and you. Meanwhile, I ain't done shit. But because Steven is just so flagrant with how much he's just gooning it up, and he can't keep his dick in his pants, and he just wants to be a hedonist. Even me being close to that by proximity, I start to have that reputation, and it's just. I don't want to be associated with that. You know, I'm happy with the fact that I work with women, and I'm happy with the fact that it's professional, and that needs to be a standard that we set for more people, because I hate the idea that I just show up on screen with a woman and it's automatically sex. But can I really be mad at an audience for thinking that when I hang out with Steven, who literally fucks pretty much everybody he works with? Like with Steven, who literally frankly sex. But can I really be mad at an audience for thinking that when I hang out with Steven, who literally fucks pretty much everybody he works with?
And when he says everybody, that's male and female. Like I said, I heard this nigga was fucking Nick Fuentes, the racist, and bro was like super anti-racist. So I'm like, he really not letting political ideals get in his way. Like, bro, you're like the most liberal person probably that exists in existence currently as a man. You are probably the definition. You are the hypothetical liberal man, and you still fucking the most right wing nigga like in the world. This dude thinks everybody should get the fuck out of America if you wasn't. You feel me? Descendant of the Mayflower, goddamn. And y'all still going in each other's back ends. That's you know what I'm saying? On a moral standpoint, like not talking about the case, I'm talking about like your morality, your two opposing ideals. That shit doesn't really seem to bother you. Still fucking. Bro really likes fucking.
Like, how can I be that mad? Right? So, I don't know. There's a lot about the way that he kind of goes about his work and his personal life that makes it very difficult to want to be close to it. And if you notice, most of the people who are going to choose to stand by him are people who have a lot to lose if they're not with him. I have nothing to gain from being friends with Steven. I've literally had nothing to gain from the moment that we've known each other. Like, don't get me wrong. Steven's done a lot of good things for me personally on the low in terms of behind closed doors and helped me out with certain things. And I'm always going to be appreciative of that. And, you know, in that regards, he's been very stand up for me. And I'm grateful. But professionally, like outside of that, it's been pretty bad. Like a lot of people want to stop working with me. A lot of people want to complain about the fact. And I never cared about any of it. Why? Because I just like Steven. I saw him as a friend, so I was cool with it. I didn't care if people wanted to stop talking to me. I didn't care if fans got mad. I didn't care if people questioned. It didn't bother me at all. But
So, you know, bro's freaky, and now they find out he accidentally sent us some news. Now you just don't fuck with bro. I don't know. I guess if that's your final straw, that's your final straw.
when he engages in like actual behavior that I think is reprehensible, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? This is fucking stupid. And his response is, I like to have fun. I don't care. Then it's just got to be a come point where I'm like, all right, then I just got to cut you off because your definition of fun is fucking toxic. You know, and unfortunately, we live in a world where optics matter. How you carry yourself matters. The things you say, the choice of words, the way you carry in your personal life, the way the drama spills out, it matters. And I don't understand how Steven can really say that he wants to be a serious political advocate if he doesn't want to manage his personal life in any way that's serious. Like, why should the DNC involve you in anything that they want when your personal life looks like a fucking train wreck that's going to be bad PR for all of them? Why should anyone want to spend time debating you on these bigger platforms if all you're going to do is bring fucking tarnishing their reputation, right? It's like, if you're serious about this, you should make this sacrifice. And if you can't, then I don't think you really care about the political positions that you claim to care about. Not that deeply. Can't, because you can't put your dick in your pants. So that's how I feel about this. If y'all wanted to hear my thoughts, there you have it. Yeah, I don't think I got much else to say. Like I said, I won't be appearing on those streams anymore. None of that collaboration stuff. I hope the best for Steven. I hope he fixes his shit, and I hope he does right by the people he hurt. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, this is incredibly disappointing shit. That's all I got to say.
Damn, that's a beautiful ass water. I cannot lie. That is some beautiful ass water. I am jealous. But yeah, so I guess that's why Destiny is also simultaneously getting canceled at the same time as DJ Academics for sharing nudes, some more freaky shit. So if you watching these, we all watching these as content creators and as men, what you gotta be learning is like you gotta have dick control. Me too. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, and you know, to like not just risk everything on, but you gotta like control your meat. Like, you gotta control your meat, and you gotta be able to control your mouth. You feel me? I don't know if DJ Academics is more like, his shit is definitely, it's still just control, maybe not meat control. We could probably just expand it to just having control as a man. You gotta be able to have control of yourself and be able to think through everything you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Whether it has to do with your meat or your mouth. Pause. You feel me? Like, you can't be out here saying wild shit. Sometimes you gotta be able to read the room and, you know, be able to, even as a comedian, it's tough. It is tough, but you have to just respect the game that we're in now and play the game. Niggas is always trying to talk about, oh, back in my day, we did it. Well, this ain't that. This ain't that, you know? You got to play the game as it is now. So, with academics, you can't talk to kids like that, bro. You should have been peeped the climate was like that. And little bro showed you he was uncomfortable telling you, like, bro, I'm only 15. He should have realized that. Destiny, why is you sending random hoes videos that you took without them hoes' knowledge? Videos. Why would, first of all, there's so many questions, so many. Obviously, Destiny has a lot of moral failings in a row. So his shit is a little bit like more complex. It's like, why are you recording these women without their consent, bro? And then why are you using these videos that you recorded without their consent to try to pull other women? That's pretty terrible, bro. You just slanging them hoes around like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They don't even know they on them. That's terrible, bro. And then you also fucking Nick Fuentes, who's like a whole racist, bro. Ain't you like super little? Anyway. But yeah, man, you gotta control yourself. You gotta look at every decision before you make it. But outside of that, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. HOLYSHABAZZ on everything. Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all that good shit. I appreciate you. Love you being here. I'm not gonna judge you, man. I know you a good person, bro. Fuck all that other shit, bro. This is the internet's so judgmental, bro. You can just tell the internet loves canceling motherfuckers. They be looking for any reason. Oh, they wronged you out. Let's all try to cancel this motherfucker. That's like their favorite shit to do, so. But not me, bro. I wouldn't cancel you, dog. I fuck with you. But till the next one, man. Later, dude.